Coping with COVID is brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. Visit scdheck.gov for an updated list of testing sites and important information on how to protect yourself, your family, and friends from the coronavirus. SCDHEC, healthy people, healthy communities. Also, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, helping to meet the needs of small, minority, and women-owned businesses in the City of Columbia. Log on to columbiasc.net/OBO. Agape Counseling and Training Center. Call 803-779-2777 for licensed professionals of counselors and social workers helping families, engaged and married couples, and individuals of all ages gain an understanding of all aspects of their life. If you're having a challenge coping with COVID, contact Agape Counseling and Training Center at agapects.com. And Columbia Housing Authority. The agency is looking for stories from former residents of Allen Benedict Court to retain some of the property's rich history. In its 80-year life, Allen Benedict Court has been home to some of the country's elite, including a Grammy Award-winning performer, corporate executives, national television celebrities, a host of doctors, lawyers, and NBA greats. So share your pictures, mementos, and memories at chcares@chasc.org. Coping with COVID, brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Columbia Housing Authority, Agape Counseling and Training Center, and Palmetto Media Connection.
Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor.
Fight the spread and take a stand against coronavirus. Wear a mask in public. Stay at least 6 feet apart from others. And get tested. Join us and fight the spread. Visit scdheck.gov/COVID-19.
Noon to you. I'm Tre Tailor, and you are watching Coping with COVID, updates on the pandemic and information to help you thrive and survive COVID-19. As you heard, it's brought to you by SCDHEC. In it together, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities and Agape Counseling and Training Center, plus Palmetto Media Connections. Well, basketball has come to South Carolina. Jermaine Johnson and David Magley join us to talk about the Charleston Coyotes and the TBL. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for joining us today. I appreciate you.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Plus, newly elected Richland One School Board Commissioner Angela Clyburn. Thank you, Ange.
Hi, how are you, Tre?
Hey there,
Hello, fellas.
Hey there. All of them are coming up next on Coping with COVID. But first, your COVID community updates.
I can't see it.
The future of the ACA is being decided by the Supreme Court this week. President-elect Joe Biden spoke today in support of the 10-year-old plan known as Obamacare. Opponents say it's unconstitutional because Congress took away any penalty for those who remain uninsured. At this point, it looks like the High Court will uphold the ACA, but nothing certain has been decided yet. The runoff for the mayor of Sumter is next week. The tight race is now between two city councilmen. Calvin Hasty has been on the council for 10 years. The veteran was born and raised in Sumter. And an 8-year council member, David Merchant, is a Clemson grad and a small business owner. Now the runoff is next Tuesday. And the official Christmas tree has arrived in South Carolina. The 35-foot tall white fir will be decorated with 13,000 lights and 900 ornaments this weekend if the weather holds up. The 52nd Governor's Carol lighting is at 7 p.m. November 26th. Coping with COVID is streaming live on the Tailor-Made production page. Would you go over there and hit like and follow? We would love for you to do that. Not only would you be able to watch Coping with COVID Monday through Saturday at 2 p.m., you'll also be able to check out all of your COVID-related updates. We're also streaming live on YouTube. Hello to all of your YouTubers, and also on IG. SCDHEC has the most up-to-date listings of times, dates, and location for COVID testing in and around South Carolina. Check the bottom of the screen for more information, which will be scrolling throughout the show. You can also find more information about COVID testing if you want to host a COVID test in your neighborhood or in your event. Now, the DHEC Care Line is also available. You can get information on testing and information on transportation. Speaking of transportation, if you are immobile and unable to get to a COVID test and think you need it, Richland and Clarendon County paramedics are actually doing in-home COVID testing. You can call 911 for more information. Now, free rapid COVID tests are being held also at the Delta Center and at DHEC. MaskUpColumbiaSC.com is the place to go to get a great prize from the City of Columbia. All you have to do is wear your mask, take a picture of yourself in your favorite mask, post a picture, and get your family and friends to like it, and you could be a winner from the City of Columbia. There are mask giveaways going on throughout the city. Check Richland County Library for more information on the various mask giveaways. The South Carolina Bar Association and SC Legal Services have collaborated to offer a free toll-free number and also a website for rental and mortgage help. And the City of Columbia continues to offer their 6-month payment plan for water bills and payment assistance up to 75%. If you're in need of a job, both CarMax and Amazon are hiring. You can see more information on the screen right now. And please, again, if you need a job, check out those great opportunities. Now, we talked to Rashonda Pratt last month. She had some great ideas for in-home learning and working, and she's dedicated an entire YouTube channel for it. So go over there and check out her YouTube page and get the information you need about virtual learning and virtual schooling, virtual learning, and virtual working. I'm Tre Tailor, and you're watching Coping with COVID, updates on the pandemic and information to help you thrive and survive COVID-19. And basketball fans, listen up. The minor leagues are in South Carolina, and Jermaine Johnson is the managing partner, and league president David Magley. Both of them are here to tell us about the Charleston Coyotes. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, we are so excited being here.
That is so exciting. I saw that you posted it, Jermaine, on your page, and I was like, really? This is great news. Mr. Magley, listen, you're no stranger to the game. Former standout with the Cleveland Cavaliers. You played in the CBA, coached by the legendary Phil Jackson. You were an exceptional coach yourself in the United States and Canada. Why did you and your beautiful wife decide to launch the TBL? Oh, you're on mute, Mr. Magley, I think.
What?
Yeah.
Where does it show mute? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're back. You're back.
Okay. Honestly, it was a vision that God gave my wife.
Oh wow.
We had been through a really difficult a year the year before with a different league that I had owned with someone else, and she was in the restroom in the middle of the night praying, just saying, Lord, what should we do? And I was doing what I do, sleep. And, and she just said that she felt the Lord say, why are you crying? And she said, who? And she said, do you trust me? She said, yes. She said, do you really trust me? She said, yes, and start your own league.
Wow.
And start your own league and do it from your perspective. Now, my wife is a music teacher. My wife is not a basketball person, and she's definitely not a business person.
Right.
She is smoking hot, though. Look at that.
Now look at her. She's so beautiful. I had to shout her out.
She is very beautiful. But, you know, what happened is my wife was the first female and the first African-American to own a male pro sports league. In my opinion, she's not special because she's a Black woman, but she's very special because she's a Black mom. Right. And as a mother, she has an understanding about her children and herself that, listen, I may be the coolest white dude you ever been around the way, blah, 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 but I've never been Black. Right. So when I walk in a store, people don't watch me. Right. When I walk by a lady, she doesn't cinch her purse up a little tighter. They don't roll the windows up when I walk by the car. When the police sirens go off, my heart doesn't race except for maybe I got a speeding ticket. My children, my wife, and I can have all the head knowledge in the world, but that's not the same as heart knowledge and knowing exactly what goes on. Right. So for us, it starts with how we treat our guys, how we treat our players, and then teaching them how to use basketball for greater things than just self. I mean, these guys, you know, we're really, if we weren't in America, we wouldn't be called minor league. We would be called Pro B. Because Pro A would be the NBA and we're Pro B. Or if we're in baseball, we'd be Double A. There's you know, MLB saying Triple A would be Double A. So we have legitimate guys that come to town that when you see them, you're going to recognize them. And they have celebrity. Well, unfortunately, we don't teach our young men how to use that celebrity always in the right way. Right. And our vision, or Evelyn's vision, is that we go into the community and we greatly impact and use that celebrity to encourage a young man. My father's not in the family. Oh, you know what? I went through that too. Or I've got this issue. Or you know what? We've got all of our guys have been through everything. And, they are able to impact. And sometimes just a touch on the shoulder and the kid says, well, why are you here? Because you're that important. That little thing, that little the tenderness of the way you treat your grandson. Everybody doesn't have that blessing. Everybody in the world doesn't get that opportunity.
Right.
And we can use our celebrity to do that. And
Right.
if we can do it the right way, we can change lives. And then, it just makes a lot of sense. We're going to be entertaining. The basketball is incredible, but that's the least important thing we do.
Wow. So we're talking to David Magley. He and his beautiful wife, Evelyn, are co-owners of the Basketball League, TBL. And so you're saying that, from what I understand, this is more, from her vision, is a way to help some young men who may be vulnerable to some things that are going on in our world out in the streets right now. This is more of a heart effort or effort to really kind of rescue some young men. Is that it, Mr.
Well,
Mack?
I would say it's as much teaching young men how to leverage their celebrity the right way. And, these guys don't necessarily need rescuing, but they don't know what the power that they have.
Gotcha.
Jermaine's a rare find. He's now an elected official. He's got a doctorate. He carries himself different. When you watch him, this guy's different, and there's power in that, tremendous power. Because I was in Canada when Jermaine was there, and the little guys loved him. He's a big guy. He's fun with them, great smile, and when you use that, you can again. Most of our children just need affirmation. And just tell them that they're important. It's going to be all right. We're there for you. I think we could change a child's life, and quite frankly, from a business standpoint, people then want to be a part of what we do, whether that's owners or that's sponsorships. They all want to be a part of this because we're doing it for the right reason. So if it is a heart thing, then I think we can change a lot, and we can generate the money we need just because we're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, that's so good. Of course, we're going to talk more about specifics, but I want to bring Jermaine in, since you mentioned him, that you guys knew each other when he was playing in Canada. And I don't know if people knew, Jermaine, that you played ball. I mean, you're a big guy, so I think we probably thought you played football, and you may have done that too. But so tell us about and I guess that's what your initial connection was, and why. I mean, I'm almost answering my own question. I can tell now why you even wanted to be involved, because I know your story, because you've shared it before.
Yeah. Basketball, it saved my life. Without basketball, I don't know where I would be at right now. It was one thing. It was my ticket out. A lot of people, they played basketball, because they like basketball, they like playing it. The sport was fun. But for me, it was my only option. It's like, listen, you're going to be good at this and to get out of your situation, or you're going to be stuck in your situation. So basketball, that's why when Kobe Bryant passed, why it hurt so much, because it was me watching him as my inspiration and my motivation to work harder than everybody else, to go out there and get up every single day, even when you don't feel like it, to go out there and practice so many hours a day, so it was my ticket out. It was my way out. It was just an opportunity for myself. And I know that it saved my life. So with it having the ability to save my life, I know there's so many other guys out here whose lives, basketball can save. And so many guys are out here right now saying, man, listen, they only went through school because, they had the opportunity to play basketball. I know that was myself. I wanted to drop out of high school really, really young, but I was like, man, if I drop out, I can't play basketball no more. I can't do this anymore. But so you have some of these guys that are just graduating high school just because, they wanted to play basketball. But what happens after that's over with? We want to still provide them with opportunities to still continue to impact future generations by playing professional basketball right here at home.
Yeah, we're talking to David Magley with the Basketball League, TBL, and Jermaine Johnson, who is managing partner of the Charleston Coyotes. Now, you guys, of course, as Mr. David Magley said, knew each other in Canada. And then, Mr. Magley, you and your wife started this, a couple of years ago, 2018?
Yes, this is our third season as TBL. And it's we got hit by COVID like everybody else did.
Yeah.
And one of the great things is, because we're people of faith, we just said that there's got to be something reason why we're going to go through this. Let's double down and go stronger. So we went from 8 teams. From the year before we started TBL, we had 8 teams in a different league, and then TBL's first year was 10, 12 last year. We're gonna tip off this year between 32 and 36 teams.
Awesome.
We're gonna have a 300% growth at a time during COVID, and it's because we just believe that these opportunities, those extra months we didn't finish the season, gave us a chance to build the brand and work with it and not look back.
How did South Carolina come to be one of the TBL teams?
Jermaine Johnson. I'm gonna tell you, because we look for the right kind of people to be involved with what we do.
Right.
And Jermaine is just, he's that rarefied. You look at the NBA, it's 70%, 65-70% African American players, the entertainers. But then the coaches are about 40%. The executives are about 10%, and Michael Jordan owns a team. Well, our league is about 95% African American, and our goal is that our coaches, our executives, and our team market owners, our management looks like our league, so that people look at basketball. We always say, use basketball, don't let it use you. But the guys, when they're done playing, they're devastated and they don't know what to do with their life. Yeah. Man, life's just starting when you're done playing. There's so many things you could do with this incredible game by using that tool to go out and impact lives. You can wrap that ball around a fishing hook and go out and fish for lives to try to change some people with this game. Because, we're relevant. We're young, we're cool, we're hip. And so Jermaine's just the perfect fit for that. He's got the look, he's got the intellect, he's got the heart, he's got the background. He's everything you want. I got to watch how much he eats, because when we go out for dinner, he just be smashing it. But besides that, he's everything he possibly could want.
Oh, that's so interesting you said that, because during the whole time we were doing sound check and right before we went live, he was eating, and I kept thinking to myself, I hope we don't come to him live and he's got something in his mouth. Please, Jermaine, be finished eating. I'm just sitting here thinking in my mind.
Well,
I was trying to hurry up and get done before we started.
He does that intermittent fasting, so he doesn't eat. I'm certain that was his first meal. So
that is exactly. Yes, you're exactly right. That was my first meal today.
Right.
You're right.
I do that all day fasting, meaning I eat all day. That's what I do.
So, Jermaine, as managing partner of the South Carolina team, and of course it's the Charleston Coyotes, tell us what your role is.
So I'm pretty much overseeing the entire makeup, the entire creation of this franchise. I actually chose those colors there of maroon, and I'm calling them College of Charleston maroon and Citadel blue. So there was a reason why I chose those colors, because I want us to be ingrained in the very fabric of Charleston. And we know that Charleston is a basketball town. College of Charleston, we come from all over to be a part of, the College of Charleston and see that rivalry between College of Charleston and the Citadel. So I want us to kind of, be made up of, everything that goes on in Charleston. That includes, having some of the players from College of Charleston as well as the Citadel as a part of this team here, because, a lot of times, the fans, they want to continue to see their favorite players. And I want to provide those guys some opportunities to continue on playing after they graduate college, but also to kind of create a relationship with the College of Charleston, with the Citadel, so that we can all, live together in harmony, kind of like how the Charleston Battery, the soccer team is, and we got the Charleston River Dogs. I want to be a part of that whole professional sports arena that we have in the city of Charleston. So I'm overseeing all that stuff. I've got a few other partners that I've brought on to assist with creating these partnerships and expanding the brand, expanding the franchise. But I can guarantee you we will have good, positive individuals. We've been doing these combines, and I've been talking to all of them saying, hey, listen, all right, you all are, you're good athletes. You all can play basketball, but that's not the only thing that I'm interested in. I'm interested in guys who have great character, who have good attitudes, who are willing to do community service, who want to get out in the community, who want to give back and provide provide words of encouragement to young people. We're not just going to be around there playing basketball. We're here to really affect and change future generations for people and provide, good guidance and good, good counsel for these young people. That's what I was always about. Is about giving back to somebody else, because we know what this sport can do. This sport, that's it's one of the things. Sports is just a great uniter. It brings people together of all different races, and people just come together for a common goal. And that's what I'm trying to show people down there in Charleston, people all across the state, that we can come together for a common goal.
That's great. Jermaine Johnson is the managing partner of the Charleston Coyotes, the new TBL team in Charleston, and David Mackley joins us. He's the president of TBL. So you mentioned the combines. I know there was one that just happened in the Charleston area in Somerville last week. Tell us how that went. Did you find any good prospects?
We found some good people. Coach Maggie can actually speak to this because he offers these guys the contracts and for training camp. But from what I can gauge, we've got a lot of guys that are coming in from all over the Southeast. We had guys coming in from Georgia and from North Carolina. Somebody came from Ohio. We got guys that are coming in all over trying to, get these contracts that we're giving out. The talent that we have is great. I want to see more talent coming from South Carolina because I want to see us take advantage of these opportunities right here at home. But from what I can tell, we're going to have a great team. We're definitely going to be contenders. Coach
Mag, how was the combine in Somerville?
Just as Jermaine said, they're good. And again, our players are just part of what we do. This is entertainment, so we'll have dancers. So this will be opportunity for dance teams, and it can be anything from youth dance teams to cheerleaders to however Jermaine wants to do it. Being a family man, there'll be healthy dance teams. I'm saying, but we'll have mascots. We'll have all. I see. We might have another dance. We already got it. I see what's going on now. But we want it to be a family-friendly environment so that when people come, they go, wow, we're not competing. There's no pro basketball, there's no pro sports in South Carolina. But we're not competing with College Charleston or the Citadel because we play after their season's done. We play in March, April, May, and the playoffs in June. So it's a different season altogether. But what we do want to do, we'll compete with movies. We'll compete with bowling. And so we have to be engaging. It has to be something that people love and interact with and they have a lot of fun with. So it's important to us that we find the right venue and we do things the right way and we put a really good product on the floor.
Right. Well, I know you've got a couple of more combines coming up. We've got the information there on November 14th in Houston, November 21st in Boston, December 5th in Atlanta, December 6th in Miami, and then, of course, December 12th in LA, Vegas on December 13th, and next year, January 9th through the 10th in Indianapolis. What are you looking for and how can people, apply or try out for the TBL?
So they can go to our website, thebasketballleague.net, and there they can get the link. And we will be doing more combines in South Carolina as well, more tryouts in South Carolina.
Okay.
For the team, but what guys look for? Do you know how to play? Do you know? See, when agents send us a film, the kid never misses a shot. It's unbelievable. Because they only send you highlights.
Right.
So you look at it and you're going, I don't know if I could feel like that person is. But if you watch a guy that plays really hard, that overcomes a lot of stuff. And Jermaine will turn to me and say, man, I love that kid. Because we had a kid that was in the combine in Somerville, didn't have very good shooting day. Just didn't shoot it very well. Played really hard, passed really good. And when we're at dinner, Jermaine goes, man, I like that kid. I really like that kid. That would never have stood out in the film. That would have never stood out if we watched him play even a full college game. But by watching them in person, we can pick up on who they are as people. And that's, again, they got to be able to be good in the community or it's a bad fit.
Gotcha.
Quiet is selfish. You got to be able to come out of yourself and entertain and be fun and do it. Because we're trying to teach them that their brand is not, like their social media. Their social media has to recognize who's your audience. If it's your boys, then you probably can't play in our league. If it's trying to pick up some, so we're disrespecting women with the music that we have, and we've got weed in the background or a bunch of empty alcohol bottles. That probably doesn't fit for me to send you into school. But if your
Gotcha.
audience
Yeah.
is, hey, I want to be a pro athlete and I want to sell that, because the teams are going to check out social media. And when you do that, it helps them, because, so do companies. So do people around the world. So we're helping them how to build their own brand so they have more value besides just being an entertainer. Because
Yeah.
this is going to end for all of us. I saw Jermaine shoot the other day, and I'm telling you, he's nothing like he was in Canada. He's not near as good as he used to be.
His basketball days are over. Playing anyway, right?
And that's facts. But you know what? I look like I ate that guy from when I played ball. So, I get it. Those things happen. But that doesn't mean our lives end. That means
Exactly.
we have to use that gift that we were given. I'm 6'8", 300+ pounds. So I'm a big guy. I look like Al Bundy. Nothing to be proud of. But when I go places, people recognize me. I need to use that as an opportunity to impact lives. And if I don't, I'm wasting my opportunity. My brother died at 57, and my brother died at 57. I'm 60. I don't want to waste a moment not trying to impact the life for something greater than just money or fleeting fame of basketball.
Yeah.
Okay. What's real is, what do we do with this thing so we can leave a legacy? And that's what Jermaine is. You watch Jermaine, loves his wife. I met her this weekend. I understand why. Wow. Can't believe she married that dude. But loves his kids. He's the kind of person we need in leadership.
Yes.
And then we're going to celebrate that and build him up and let the world see that.
Yeah. I love that. Coach David Magley with the TBL, Jermaine Johnson, managing partner with the Charleston Coyotes. Now, what do you look? So you've got the combines coming up, as Coach Magley said, Jermaine. There will be other combines in South Carolina, and if people want more information, of course, we've got we can throw the website back up there. People can contact you guys for more opportunity, for more information. But as far as other than playing, what other opportunities are available within the organization?
So right now, currently, I mean, there's ownership opportunities. There's opportunities to be a part of the dance teams, like Coach Mags has said. There's being a part of game day operations, mascot stuff, ball boys. I mean, we have just a plethora of opportunities that are available right now because again, this is a new franchise, so we have to build it from the ground up. So, if you're interested in basketball, we can put you somewhere. We can get you involved somewhere and somehow.
Yeah. Coach Mag, you're on mute, I think.
Okay. We're looking for coaches. We love female team marketing owners. I ain't saying nothing. But, you and a few of your friends could say, hey, let's throw in on this and have some fun. Actually, we have quite a few females that own teams. It's just a different mindset. We really want our league to look like our community and our players. And, there's so many chances to use this league. My wife uses the term, this is a showcase league. We want our players to get here and get out of here. Get to the highest level you can play around the world. So you can play in our league for a little bit of money and then go play someplace else, travel the world for a lot of money. And it's the same with our coaches. Get in and get out. I mean, there's always somebody waiting to take your place. Awesome.
Right.
Let's get that next person, that wants to be a dancer at the next level and put together the whole dance team. Great. Let's get that done. A mascot that wants to parlay this into the College of Charleston mascot or whatever. We could. Everybody has a chance to use our league to be a showcase and get someplace.
Awesome. Coach David Magley, Dr. Jermaine Johnson with TBL, Charleston Coyotes. Thank you guys so much for coming on, for sharing the information. I mean, this is so much more, as you said, than just basketball. This is community outreach, community involvement, and it's just what we need, not only for our young people, but for all people, the communities kind of reaching out and your organization reaching into the community. Thank you so much. Good luck to you. God bless. Please keep me informed so that I can continue to, post and share and get you back on when the season starts. And when does the season start?
Coach?
When can we start seeing some basketball?
We'll start training camp in mid-February. We go March through May with playoffs in June.
Okay. All right. So let's get together and talk about it again. Thank you guys so much for joining. And I definitely want to get your beautiful wife on to talk about, from the female perspective. We'd love to get.
Even me. Thank you.
Coach David Magley, owner of the Basketball League, and Dr. Jermaine Johnson, who, among other things, is also a managing partner of the Charleston Coyotes. Gentlemen, again, thank you so much for joining us today on Coping with COVID.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm Tre Tailor. You're watching Coping with COVID. Coming up next, newly elected Richland 1 School Board Commissioner Angela Clyburn. That's next on Coping with COVID. I'm Tre Tailor.
Coping with COVID is brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. Visit scdheck.gov for an updated list of testing sites and important information on how to protect yourself, your family, and friends from the coronavirus. SCDHEC, healthy people, healthy communities. Also, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, helping to meet the needs of small, minority, and women-owned businesses in the City of Columbia. Log on to columbiasc.net/OBO. Agape Counseling and Training Center. Call 803-779-2777 for licensed professionals of counselors and social workers helping families, engaged and married couples, and individuals of all ages gain an understanding of all aspects of their life. If you're having a challenge coping with COVID, contact Agape Counseling and Training Center at agapects.com. And Columbia Housing Authority. The agency is looking for stories from former residents of Allen Benedict Court to retain some of the property's rich history. In its 80-year life, Allen Benedict Court has been home to some of the country's elite, including a Grammy Award-winning performer, corporate executives, national television celebrities, a host of doctors, lawyers, and NBA greats. So share your pictures, mementos, and memories at chcares@chasc.org. Coping with COVID, brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Columbia Housing Authority, Agape Counseling and Training Center, and Palmetto Media Connection.
Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor.
Palmetto Media Connections wants to connect with you. Find and like us on Facebook and a chance to win dinner for a family of 10 for the Thanksgiving holidays. Provided by licensed caterer Deacon Eddie Green of Catering and Beyond, 201 Columbia Mall Boulevard, 803-567-3986. Connect with us for a chance to win dinner for a family of 10. Sponsored by Palmetto Media Connections, connecting media and communities together.
People will be able to look 100 years from now. They will know how we got over. This makes it even more important that we shine this light.
Part of it also wasn't the fact that we couldn't have the physical graduation, but I also couldn't celebrate with my family out of town.
For me, I feel like this is a new normal. This is not going away anytime soon, I don't think.
Anything that's happened before can happen again. And the same thing is at play with this virus.
You know, we are no longer in a building, and we've talked about church being, with us, in us.
Have you traveled abroad late in the past 6 months? We were trying to trace it back as early as November.
You're watching Coping with COVID, updates on the pandemic and information to help you thrive and survive COVID-19. Angela Clyburn joins us now. She is one of the 2 African-American females who won the 2 at-large seats on the Richland 1 School Board. We did reach out to the other woman, Tamika Myers, and we are working on a date to get her on the show. But thank you, beautiful, so much for joining us, and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Tre. Thank you for having me. Such an honor.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So listen, of course, you come from a family of activists and politicians. Did you always have political aspirations?
The only political aspiration I had was what I did all of my life. And that was, basically standing with a family member and just getting to meet new people. I've never envisioned running for office myself.
Really?
But I was always, and I'm still deathly afraid of public speaking. So please don't even think I got that through my DNA from my father. But so that was probably part of it. But once, just in speaking with people from the community, them urging me to step put my foot in the ring, I just, threw caution to the wind and tried to get a hold of my nerves. And here I am. So I'm just happy to be on the other side of it, and I'm looking forward to positive change.
So let's talk a little bit about that. You say some people, told you should throw your hat in the ring. What were some of the reasons why they thought you would be a good fit for school board?
Well, one of the individuals is a pastor in my community of Greenview. And he's known my family for a long time, but he got to know me personally, probably over the course of about years. So he just thought that, I had the personality to, speak to the voters. He knew I had the heart. My heart was in the right place for my school district. I'm born and raised in Richland 1, and I thought enough of Richland 1 to have my own children enrolled in the same elementary school in the school system that I went to, that I came up through. So he knows that I have the district at the forefront, and the kids are definitely first and foremost in the heart.
Right.
And our teachers. So he knew that I, valued all of those things. And, not just him. There are some other friends that knew of the need and just asked me, and they kept on me. So, they wouldn't let me, basically they wouldn't let me say no.
And before that, Angela, you had no inkling before that to even run.
Well, I did think about it before. So I tell people about 5 or 6 years ago, it crossed my mind.
Right.
But there was always, a friend of mine in the seat, or,
right.
Like Lalena Stalls, she just decided not to run for reelection, for family reasons. And I asked her about it, and she said that she would support me if I ran. So she's another reason, why I decided to do that. And I knew, with her leadership, some other friends that are elected officials as well, with their leadership and coaching, I could make it through. So luckily I did.
Yeah. So your sister Jennifer, of course, was a campaign advisor, and so interesting because she recently kind of jumped on board the political bandwagon. Also, after she, of course, managed Rosalind's her line sister's campaign when she was running for treasurer. So, what was it like working with your sister as campaign advisor?
Well, it was great, of course. But, you know my sister, so she has her opinions, and she's a strong spirit. Mm-hmm. But luckily, I have a strong backbone. But it was fun. I did have a campaign manager, Dwayne Sims, but he understood
run interference
the relationship. Yeah. But he understood the relationship and what that dynamic was going to be like, and we had a great working relationship. And a lot of relationships, when you're referencing a campaign, they fall apart because of whether you're friends or your family. But we always, no matter what, we definitely put our love for each other first, and making sure we're looking out for the best interest of that person. Now, one thing about her, now she's going to defend me, so I didn't have to worry about half of those, half of that negativity that was going on during the course of this campaign. So, I was lucky to have her on my side.
Yeah, we're talking to Angela Clyburn. She is a newly appointed Richland School District 1 commissioner. Angela, you talked about some of the negativity that was going around, and it really was, for a school board race. This is my grandson's afro. Y'all see it in the shot, but there really was a lot of negativity surrounding it for a school board election. And I want to ask you, and if you don't mind, what do you say to those people who may have said, you just got it because you're Clyburn?
Well, I heard that on the campaign trail. There were actually people that I would talk to in the line. I didn't hear it from anyone that I would speak to in person right then and there, but I had some notes thrown my way, just telling me to watch my back type thing. But I cannot, one thing I won't apologize for is who my parents are. I shouldn't be penalized, nor should I be rewarded for who my parents are. And I worked hard, throughout this campaign to get every vote. Whether some of those people were more inclined to vote for me because of my last name, I can't tell you that. But what I do know, what I feel in my heart is that I could not win this election, not even come in second place, let alone come in first. I could not win this election with a name alone. If I were not speaking to the issues of what is affecting our children, as far as education today, I would not be talking to you right now. I would be talking to you on the phone or texting you with tears in my eyes. But I definitely wouldn't be sitting here right now talking to you.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about what you are thinking about as far as what you want to do. But I do want to ask, what advice did your dad give you when you told him that you wanted to run?
Oh, so that was a family meeting. I didn't only have him. I had my sister Mignon on the phone because she was in, Washington, D.C. at the time. I had Jennifer sitting right there because, I called a family meeting, so they didn't know what this was about. Okay.
Right.
So I decided to, I made the decision, but I want to talk to them about it. And they were all, whatever you decide to do, if you decide not to do it, we'll support you. If you decide to do it, you just have to be 100% committed, and we're all in behind you. So those were the kinds of, supportive, moments that I had, during the entire time. As far as my father, he's an experienced campaigner and politician.
Yes.
But he was just always reminding me, because I did get off kilter sometimes, but he was reminding me to run my race, make sure I stayed on the issues. Staying on the issues was my sister Jennifer, but he just told me to run my race. Don't worry about, what people are saying, and worry about other things. So he kept me centered.
Yeah,
definitely.
I love that, because you know what, Angela, that's just good everyday life advice, because no matter what we are experiencing in our lives, folks are going to talk, people are going to say what they're going to say, you're going to have some adversity. So I love that you said, on one hand, Jennifer was saying, just stick to the issues, and your dad was saying, just run your race, and that's just basically stay focused, keep your eye on the prize kind of thing, whatever that prize is, you know.
Yes, it's definitely a life learning experience.
Yeah. Did you feel your mom's spirit while you were going through this process?
Ooh, Trey.
Yeah, I don't want to make you cry.
Yeah, I know. I did the entire time, Now, I'll tell you some funny things. My mother, behind closed doors, she was something else. So she would say what's on her mind the way she wants to say it.
Right.
Ways that you would not always imagine Dr.
Emily would say, right?
Putting it. Yeah, Ms. Emily would put it real to you. But I can imagine some of the moments, she would have been like, all right, now, Angela, you shouldn't have said that, or you need to say this next time. Because she does the same thing to my father, or did the same thing to my father. But I had her with me in the voting booth. I had a picture of my parents. And I didn't realize how old the picture was until I saw the black in my father's hair, and he had most of it. So I was like, this picture is kind of old. But when we got in the voting booth, I had her with me, and once I got to the second page, I was, a mess.
Yeah.
I couldn't even see the screen, so I'm glad I actually voted for myself. I hope I did, but it was definitely an inspiring feeling, a support. I always felt strong, and I think that was why. Yeah.
Maxine Moses says, congratulations, Angela. She said she loves your mom.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, I want to say hi to everybody that's watching Coping with COVID. Thank you so much for watching. Please post and share this information out so we can get the message to the masses. So now that you're on, what are you thinking you want to work on? What are some of the goals you have for school board?
So one of the things that I spoke about a lot on the campaign trail was making sure our kids are career and college ready. That was a big thing when I was coming up, through, the whole, all levels of the public education system. And Hayward Career Center, was one thing that that was a jewel, back in our days. Yeah. And I think, we could do a little more to focus on, some of their programming that they have available and that our kids can, benefit from. So, I think a lot of that is, positive promoting and, doing some, good marketing for those programs so parents can know about them. So our students, don't think it's some kind of a negative thing, just because you're going to Hayward, that you have some kind of issue or problem with behavior. It's just a way to open doors and get that training now so you can figure out what your passions are, figure out what your talents are. So, I think that those are good ways to, make sure. And some of our kids don't want to go to college, but we still need to make sure that they're prepared and they're ready to provide for themselves and their families.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But then, go ahead.
No, I was going to say everyone is not college material, and that's okay.
Right.
I love Hayward Career Center too. I tell you, with Sherry over there as the principal, because you've got to get these kids ready, because there are so many trades and career paths that are not, you're not required to have a college degree, that are viable, worthwhile, money-making careers, so
exactly. Now, and then, the thing is, some of those programs, we just need to make sure it's an easier pathway to find out about them. So, I know it is an existing program, so I'm not saying to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to duplicate Hayward Career Center. But our counselors, in our high schools and even starting in our middle schools, we could, work with them a little more just to get our students prepped, and they can know what's out there, for them, that, they don't have to be undecided. You can kind of find out what your interests and your talents are now.
Absolutely. What else? You said there were a couple of other things that you really want to focus on during your tenure.
Well, of course, what is on everyone's mind is coronavirus.
Yes.
And a lot of what I focused on, in the campaign was just making sure we're safe and we're making, the responsible and sound decisions based on, the CDC recommendations, DHEC guidelines, but that we're also listening to our teachers because they're concerned, and a lot of them are afraid of going back.
And they're there. They're on the front line.
Yeah. So we just need to make sure they're being protected. And, I definitely would be a listening ear for them and for our parents and our students as well. We forget sometimes about how our students are feeling. And, we're adults and we tell them what to do, so they just do it. But, this thing is taking a hold of our communities, and we're stressed. You did a segment, and I love this segment. I went back and listened to it that you did about the diabetes segment and how those kinds of stressors. But you were also talking about the coronavirus and those stressors.
Yeah.
And, they manifest in our bodies in so many different ways and negatively affect our health, mentally and physically. And we just have to, make sure we're paying attention to those issues.
Yeah. So how long do you think you want to be on the board? Are you going to be?
I'm already starting my campaigning. I'm just kidding. I want to stay on the board just as long as the public, the voting public, feels that I am doing the right things for their children and for our teachers. If one day they feel, okay, I think we need to move on to the next person. I think I could serve in other ways, if they, eventually make that decision. And I'm going to stay involved. I've been involved anyway, but, from this point onward, my eyes have been open, to a lot of, things in our communities and what our issues are as far as educating our kids. And I'm definitely looking forward to some great things. So
right. Well, before you leave, I do want to ask you this, because there were lots of people, there were 7 people that were running, and I heard, and I'm sure you did too, heard some great ideas. There were some great people that were running that had some excellent qualifications and resources. Is there anything or anyone that you think, and you don't have to name names, that you think you may want to collaborate with or work with, or take some of their ideas and thoughts, or maybe even do a subcommittee or something with any of them, or any of the ideas that you heard?
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that, because just during the course of our candidate forums that we had, where, of course, all of us are, sharing our platform ideas and getting our points across. But there is one particular person that I said I would definitely like to have him as on my advisory committee. I don't know, sometimes you offend people, but I think it would be more of an honor. Shay Harley, had his platform, some of his ideas, centered a lot around his children.
Yes.
His twin boy and girl,
that are autistic. Yeah.
Yeah, that are artistic. And, I think he has some great ideas, just finding out as a school board, the policies that you would use to address them, and what the proper procedures are. We're going to be doing training, soon. So I would definitely use him as a resource, and, maybe have him ask him to be on an advisory committee, because he definitely has a passion.
He does. And I love Shay, and I'm glad you mentioned Shay. There are a couple of other people, but I love Shay because he just saw the need and stepped up. As you said, he has a unique situation where he is parenting 2 autistic children. And and he's a go-getter, and he just, sometimes you just want raw, good old energy. You know what I mean? Just somebody that may not be as polished, but just want to do something, So I love that you're going to get him involved, and I'm sure that he will be happy about that. So that's good. Well, Angela Clyburn, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck to you. God bless. I'm excited for you, and I know you are excited too about not only being on the school board, but the start of your political career.
Okay. I see you, Trey. I see you.
Angela Clyburn, y'all, please contact her if you want more information, and if you want to, contact her, I guess, with your suggestions and ideas as far as Richland School District 1 School Board. Congratulations, Commissioner Clyburn.
Thank you so much, Trey. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. I appreciate you too. Love you too. All right. I'm Tre Tailor. You've been watching Coping with COVID, updates on the pandemic, information to help you thrive or survive COVID-19. Listen, if you have a story that could help someone cope with COVID, please go to the Tailor Made Productions page on Facebook and inbox me. I'd love to talk to you about featuring your story or your initiative on the show. If you have a product or service that could help someone cope with COVID, please email copingwithtreitailor@gmail.com. And we'd love to talk to you about being a proud sponsor, just like Palmetto Media Connections, Agape Counseling and Training Center, In It Together, SCDHEC, and also the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities. Now, coming up tomorrow, In It Together and the Diabetes Advisory Council present Wellness Wednesday. We're going to talk about veterans' health on tomorrow, which is Veterans Day. Veteran Bill Patterson is going to join us. Also, Tina Phillips with No Shame Counseling, Dr. Nicole Edwards, and also Ashana Hicks with DHEC will join us tomorrow on Wellness Wednesday. Then on Thursday, actor Darian McLeod is working on a new political TV show. We'll talk to him and his cast and crew on Thursday. And then Faith Friday, get ready to get encouraged, enlightened, and motivated with Minister Erica Lakin. And then Saturday, how long do you think you should know someone before you marry them? Well, Erica and John Staley met in September, and they married in October, this past October. We're going to talk to them about their love story and met and married in 30 days. That's coming up this Saturday on Coping with COVID. I'm Tre Tailor, and as usual, I'm going to leave you with a reading from Jesus Calling. Today is November 10th, and this one touched me so much this morning during my prayer time. It says, "Focus your entire being on my living presence. I am most assuredly with you, enveloping you in my love and my peace. While you relax in my presence, I am still molding your mind and cleansing your heart. I am recreating you into the one that I designed for you to be. He's recreating us into who he designed us to be. As you move from stillness into the activities of your day, do not relinquish your attentiveness to me. If something troubles you, talk it over with me. If you get bored with what you're doing, fill the time with prayers and praise. When someone irritates you, don't let your thoughts linger on that person's faults. Gently nudge your mind back to me, Jesus. Every moment is precious if you keep your focus on me. Any day can be a good day because my presence permeates all the time. That is your Jesus calling for today. I just want to tell you, this particular one, when someone irritates you, and people get on our nerves sometimes, it says, don't let your thoughts linger on those person's faults. Gently nudge your mind back to me. That's your Jesus calling for today, Tuesday, November 10th. Thank you so much for joining us on Coping with COVID. Until the next time, I wish you peace and abundant blessings and encourage you and remind you to please wear your mask over your nose and under your chin. See you tomorrow.
Coping with COVID is brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. Visit scdheck.gov for an updated list of testing sites and important information on how to protect yourself, your family, and friends from the coronavirus. SCDHEC, healthy people, healthy communities. Also, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, helping to meet the needs of small, minority, and women-owned businesses in the City of Columbia. Log on to columbiasc.net/OBO. Agape Counseling and Training Center. Call 803-779-2777 for licensed professionals of counselors and social workers helping families, engaged and married couples, and individuals of all ages gain an understanding of all aspects of their life. If you're having a challenge coping with COVID, contact Agape Counseling and Training Center at agapects.com. And Columbia Housing Authority. The agency is looking for stories from former residents of Allen Benedict Court to retain some of the property's rich history. In its 80-year life, Allen Benedict Court has been home to some of the country's elite, including a Grammy Award-winning performer, corporate executives, national television celebrities, a host of doctors, lawyers, and NBA greats. So share your pictures, mementos, and memories at chcares@chasc.org. Coping with COVID, brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Columbia Housing Authority, Agape Counseling and Training Center, and Palmetto Media Connection.
Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor.